believe. Biohack. Become.
We're here to explore the truth about healing that exists outside the broken medical system, give you the knowledge, the community, and the strategies you need to become the hero of your own health story.
Your guide is a biohacking entrepreneur, a near-death survivor, and a cancer warrior, navigating his own healing journey. Founder of BiohackingVille, Exodus Strong and QE Strong. Your host, Rob René. This is BiohackingVille, where the medical system has failed us. One man is leading the rebellion to reclaim.
I've been called a lot of things. Cancer survivor, health warrior, the guy who refused a pacemaker. But the title I chose for myself is one most people have never heard of before. Faith-based AI Wellness Futurist. It's a lot of words. Today, I'm going to tell you exactly what that means and why it matters and why I believe it's the future of health. This is literally the first episode of my relaunch of BiohackingVille. I've been working on this for a very long time. I'm excited to release this episode. You're going to see a lot of other things coming forward after this. And a lot of it is about my story and what I believe God has done through me and what he has me on this earth to do. This last year has been an absolute nightmare and an incredible journey for me, but I'm very excited about where things are. So I wanted to walk through this. So, I am not a doctor, right? I am not a scientist. I'm a guy who should be dead 4 times over. And I spent the last 4 years learning why I'm not dead. God has a plan for my life. And I'm excited about that. And I'm excited to share with you why that is. So let's start at the beginning, because none of this makes sense without my story. So I've got to be real. For 20 years, I drank every single day, 4 to 5 drinks every single day. I was a highly functional alcoholic, but it was still, at the end of the day, an alcoholic. I told myself it was normal. Everybody drinks, right? Everybody goes to the games and has a drink. Everybody goes out to the bar and has a drink with their buddies. But it was, I was literally working full time, raising a family, but just slowly dying inside. I didn't want to go to AA, but I did it with the help of the Lord and my wife. As I literally just one day looked over at my wife and said, I think I'm done drinking. She about fell out of the bed. She's been wanting me to do that for a very long time. That was over 8 years ago. So I'm very excited about getting past that. But then God has a mysterious way of working, right? I just 15, 16 months ago was diagnosed with melanoma, stage 3 melanoma. So that means it's melanoma is skin cancer, but it's gotten into my bloodstream and get into my lymphatic system. And when it gets into your lymphatic system, it's very, very dangerous. And, the doctor's exact words were, "We need to talk about your options." And I was like, what? So this last year was literally the hardest year of my life. But I'm still here. I'm still fighting it, but I'm winning the battle. I've learned how to take my body and transition it from a cancer producer to a cancer fighter. And then it took a lot of effort and a lot of work. And I've learned so much along the way. And I believe it's my right and my duty to be able to help others through what I've learned. And I have learned that this body is a temple and it's so precious. We only have one of them. And man, we can do a really good job of screwing it up. And it's really hard to live the right way and to feed what this temple needs in order for you to be healthy. But I believe cancer did that for me, right? I grew up as an athlete and I love athletics and I was a runner and I just knew how to take care of this body in a really amazing way when I was young. But then, I got into my career and I just got into life and I started drinking and it just like everything started getting worse. But, The cancer was actually the thing that saved my life. And I'll explain why. I literally had, over the last year, had 3 different doctors tell me I needed to get a pacemaker. And this was before, actually 6 months or so before my cancer diagnosis. And I told the first cardiologist, they did all the workup on me, and then they said, no, I'm not going to get a pacemaker. That's for old people. And I was just like, that in my mind, that's what it was. And so I really just said, hey, I'm learning all this amazing stuff about natural health, and I'm working with these natural practitioners, and I had a podcast, and I was interviewing all these natural health practitioners. I'm like, I'm just going to do this myself. I was very stubborn and said, I'm just going to figure out a way to get my heart working the way I think it should. And so I said no to the first one. And then boom, lo and behold, something happens, and I go to a second cardiologist. And the second cardiologist says, you need a pacemaker. And then I get diagnosed with cancer. I'm like, what? This sucks. But I'm so thankful, because literally as part of my cancer process, I had these tumors in my groin and my right leg, and they were getting big, and it was a problem. And the cardiologist says, we might have to do surgery on that. I was like, what? But he says, we can't do surgery because your heart's not strong enough. I'm like, what? So I go to the third cardiologist, and he says, you need a pacemaker. So I'm like, wow. Okay. It took 3 different experts and over a year period, and for me to get cancer, because I would not have said yes if I would not have gotten cancer. I would have still tried to do it myself. But lo and behold, my heart literally failed on the operating table. And I didn't know it, but my heart was continuing to fail. And if I would not have been on that operating table the day I got my pacemaker, I would not be here talking to you today. And my heart literally stopped on the operating table. And the doctors were freaking out, and they ended up, a couple of hours. I think it was maybe scheduled for 45 minutes to an hour or something like that. The surgery ended up being 2.5, 3 hours. And my wife and my brother were freaking out because they were in the waiting room waiting for me. Like, what's going on? This is not normal. And it's because I literally, my heart had stopped, and the heart doctors, thank God I was there. It was like literally a miracle that I was on that table. So long story short, I survived, and I believe I survived. That was because of my cancer journey, right? I tried to do it holistically, the whole thing. The cancer saved my life, and that's not a metaphor. I know that sounds like it could be, but literally that's what happened. Right? I've had 4 near-death experiences in my life, probably 5 if you count one that's you could easily call it that. But God has saved me multiple times. I could have gotten my upgrade to heaven, but I haven't, right? And He just keeps saving me. And this last time, it put me to my knees. It was like, like I told you, this has been the hardest year of my life, bar none. And I'm emotional now because He's got plans for me. He wants me to make a difference. And man, I'm still here. And I am still here so that I can help you. And I can help others. Learn from my journey, but then all the things that I have been learning, I've been researching things like crazy and finding all these amazing things about this world and about our body and how to help it. And that's my mission now, is to help other people with that knowledge. And that's exactly why I've launched BiohackingVille. That's why I've launched this podcast. That's why I wrote my book. It's called Light Code. That's the current name of it. It's going through editors right now as we speak. So I'm hoping to have that out soon. But I've launched a company called Exodus Strong, where we have a 4-pillar system for health. And it's everything that I've been learning, and I'm so excited about what we're putting together. And today is really a launching pad and launching process for everything that I've learned. So again, it's not arrogance. It's the only explanation I have for being here. So that's the story, right? I literally have almost died multiple times. I got my heart, stopped. Cancer is why I was saved. I'm still winning that battle, and I'm excited to share more about that. But let me tell you how I did it. First is I am a very faith-based person, and I wasn't up until 5 years ago. I was always a Christian, but I never went to church other than Sunday to Sunday. I didn't think about church in between the times, but after the pandemic hit, I really developed an amazing relationship with God. I read the Bible every single day, and I read it multiple times over. Did a lot of research on the authenticity of the Bible. Is this really real? Because I wasn't sure. And all the research I did is like, man, that's the most authentic document ever built and ever written. And there's so much proof about the Bible. And so I said, man, if there's that much proof, maybe I should read it. And I've done that multiple times. So faith just isn't a marketing layer that I've slapped on my wellness brand, right? Or me. It's literally the foundation. It's the operating system. It's why I do this. Your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit. 1 Corinthians 6:19. Your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit. And that's literally true. And you only have one of them. So it makes sense. And man, we just do a great job of ruining it. So that one verse changed how I see everything about health. Right? Taking care of your body isn't vanity, it's worship. But here's the important part. I don't have to share my faith, right? To benefit from what I teach. The science stands on its own. Faith is my foundation, not a gate. In fact, I've got a slide I want to show you that really talks about what I call the architecture of new health. So let me find this because this showcases the what I'm talking about. So here we are, and sharing the entire screen. Sorry, should have had this already. All right, so now, can you see that? Let's see, there we go. Sorry, let's present this thing full screen. This is the way I like to look at it. The architecture of the new health paradigm, right? Like I told you, that's based upon faith. So the bottom, it's a rock. Look at the bottom of that. The bottom is the rock. It's the foundation. That is my operating system, right? Ancient truth providing the foundation for the code for the human design. God designed this body so incredibly complex. It's so cool. The more things I learn about this human body and how complex it is, it just fascinates me. We still haven't figured everything out. Even though we've got the best scientists in the world and people have been studying it for decades, we still find out new things. And so that's fun for me is now AI. I love technology. And so AI is a very important part of what I do because I think AI is very, very powerful, but it's also very, very scary, right? AI is the most powerful tool that's ever been given to understand human health. So it's going to help us do amazing things, but garbage in, garbage out. There's a lot of information, and one of the things that made me so mad during this health journey was understanding how corrupt our healthcare system is, and all the science that's just bunk. It's just bad science that they put in so they can sell you more pills, and it's really, really frustrating for me. But I've learned that there's also some amazing people out there in this world who have great information, and they understand the human body very, very well. And if we can combine that ancient wisdom, right, from the Bible, as well as people who've been studying it with that information in mind, you can do amazing things with the human body. So I want to help people bridge that gap between what AI and the junk information that's in AI and the real good, helpful information in AI to utilize it to help us be better. And that's why I call myself that AI Wellness Futurist, right? It's because I want to bridge the gap because the AI is it's just a tool. It's not the master, right? It's not the answer. It's just a tool. consumer AI fatigue is real. People are really tired of AI this, AI that. I'm not here to sell you on anything AI. I'm here to help you to use it, but you got to use it in the right way. You got to use it with wisdom. So I think that's really important. Most AI health apps are just ChatGPT on top of WebMD. And again, like I told you, some of that information that's out there is wrong and it's bad, and they're going to lead people in the wrong direction. And there's so much natural health information that's hidden, and so much natural health information that doesn't surface, that needs to be. So that's where I come in. That's where real AI wellness is your personalized protocol. I think everything in medicine is going to be down to the individual, your genetics, your specific data, and what you've done to your body up to now, right? Because we all eat different things. We all live a different way. We all live in a different place. Our blood is different. And so you need to treat your body as it is. It is unique. And so the actual treatment for you is going to be unique. It's not going to be the same as what other people's are. So that's, I think, super, super important. Question isn't, should I trust AI? Is, do I have a guide who can help me navigate it? And that's what I want to be for people. So let's see. I'm going to go ahead and go back out to just being me and not the slides. And I want to talk through, my job is to remove those obstacles and keep adding, interventions, because modern medicine, it's really incredible at crisis care, but it's terrible at prevention. Right. So if you break your arm, go see the doctor, right? You get hit by a truck like I did. You need to go get that ambulance and take you to the doctor. They're amazing at acute care, but they're really, really bad at chronic disease. And they haven't been trained to help people with that. And what I've learned on my own journey is the light code. The light code is light, frequencies, fuel, and faith. Those are the 4 pillars, and light is red light therapy. It's like literally, if you look at the mitochondrial process in your body, the way God designed this, it's so complex, but it's so incredibly cool that if you can get your mitochondrial process working good and working better, and you get rid of the junk that's inside your bloodstream, there's sentient cells and there's zombie cells that are just floating in your body. And those were the things that become the big C word like I got. So the spot I got on my ankle that was my original diagnosis, was a spot that I wish I would have taken care of early. So that's a lesson for everybody. If you have spots on your skin, go get it checked out. I had mine on for a very, very long time, and I ignored it for way too long. And then it became a bad situation for me because it got inside my body and the cancer spread everywhere. If you have cancerous cells, we all have cancerous cells inside our body and outside our body, on our body. But what I've learned is through light, frequencies, fuel, and faith, you can improve the mitochondrial process in the body. And then guess what? You can do like I did, go from a cancer producer to a cancer fighter. So that's why I'm so excited about the light code system. And that's why I call my book The Light Code, because those are the things that the Lord has taught me about, right? How red light therapy can really help inside the body to improve the mitochondrial process, the frequencies, and how frequencies level out your body, and it helps get positive frequencies instead of negative frequencies, which can be bad. And then the fuel is actually how the nutrients that you're putting into your body, and molecular hydrogen that clears out the bloodstream. Those are the things that I've learned. And then faith is amazing. You can literally pray and the Lord can heal you, but you can also have the strong mind within your body when your mind can physically control your body. The stuff I didn't understand and didn't have a clue about, but I do now. And so it's super important for me to be able to talk through this with you, because these are the things that I've learned, right? The light code system is real. It's something that I believe the Lord has taught me along the way. And that's like, oh my gosh, I need to tell people about this. This is so amazing. That's why I love Exodus Strong and what we're doing. Just not because I like to sell anything, but it's because of the benefits that it's helping. The red light therapy things that we're producing for people are amazing. the frequency solutions we have are amazing. When I first heard of the frequency solutions, I thought that is so weird. That is so woo-woo. Could not possibly be something that can help someone. But then the more I learned about frequencies, the more I learned about the body, it was like, what? This is super cool. And this is going to help a lot of people. So that's a lot of fun. And I'm not looking backwards. I'm looking to where health is going, right? I think it's just that things are changing so fast. Our world is changing so fast. And man, the future of health is a personalized, AI-powered, rooted in ancient wisdom that modern medicine forgot. And those 4 pillars are what we'll cover, right? In this podcast over time, we're going to go deep on all of these. We're going to talk about the AI interpretation layer, right? So I'll review AI health tools so you don't have to. I want to be able to help you understand, right? What is this gene analysis? Are your genetics really helpful when you're trying to deal with your health? How about just blood tests, right? What when you get a blood test, what does that mean, right? And then how can you use the tools to help interpret what your blood tests mean, and then what you should actually do with it? That's the most important part, because you can look at the white blood cell count and this count, and if you're not trained on understanding your body and understanding the human body and understanding the intricacies of the different components, which I didn't and I still don't, but I know people who do, and I have technology now that I can feed my blood results in, and it tells me exactly what's going on and where I need to improve. So guess what? Then we get the right nutrients we need to help supplement and augment what's going on with the body. And that's what's so important. It's personalized. I call it sanctified technology, because the ethical and theological questions that nobody else is talking about is with health tech. And that's what I want to be. I want to help people understand that we still need to be the owners of our temple. And that's why my story, I think, is just super important. And that futurist forecast, I want to help people where it's going, right? So you say, is this something I really want to try to do? And is this something I should do? So someone asked me what I do. Here it is in one sentence. I help people reclaim their health using AI, cutting-edge science, and ancient wisdom that most modern medicine has forgotten. That's it. That's what I want to help people with, and that's what I believe I'm doing. So I want to say it again. I help people reclaim their health using AI, cutting-edge science, and ancient wisdom that most modern medicine has forgotten. That's what a faith-based AI wellness futurist does. The rock is my foundation, and then I layer the other things on top of that. So it's just, it's exciting. So what does that mean for you? What does that mean for BiohackingVille? Let me tell you what's coming. BiohackingVille is super exciting because it's a community building, just the podcast and the actual site that I'm putting together. It's called biohackingville.com, and it's going to have a plethora of resources there and stuff that I've been learning, right, for the last 5 years. And it's going to have a whole section on biohacking, because I've been biohacking for the last 4 or 5 years, and it's been super fun. I really enjoy learning about sun. I learning about cold plunging and even saunas and detoxing and all the things that have been really an important part of my journey. Even things like enemas, right? Why would you do that? That sounds so weird. And when I first heard about it, thought about it, I'm like, oh, come on, I don't want to do that. But my gosh, when you see how it helps from a detoxing perspective, and when you have a lot of bad things in your body, you need to get rid of them, right? So you need to do the sauna, you need to do the enemas, you need to do the cleansing of your liver to detox this incredible body, because we've done a great job of destroying it, and we have no idea that we've been destroying it. But you have, we all have, and I did, and I'm so excited because I feel so darn good, right? I am 58 years old right now, and I am and still this last year, like I said, was physically the worst year in my entire life. But I feel so healthy now. It's like all the things I've been doing is just like amazing. I couldn't even walk. I had to use a scooter to walk 6 months ago. And now I'm out running again. It's like, what is so cool? I can lift weights. I can do almost anything, right? And I still have 7 tumors in my body. They've shrunk dramatically, which is super exciting. But what is BiohackingVille? It's a community for people who believe their best days of health are ahead of them. They're not behind us, right? They're ahead of us. And I want you to get off that couch and feel good about yourself and be a productive member of society. And I want to help people do that. So it's not a product pitch. It's not a sales funnel. It's a real community, right? It's a literally place you can have resources there. And I'm going to have some really awesome foundational members in there that are AI, but it's like trained AI on a specific topic. If you want to know about nutrition, there's going to be an amazing place in there for you to go look at the nutrition. What do these nutrients mean? Right? I've done a lot of analysis on the biblical ingredients, as well as just all sorts of ingredients and how they help the human body. So there's a bot in there that you can talk to that will help you design even a meal plan. It'll help you look at what nutrients are good for your particular body. And so I'm designing a whole operating system. I call it Daniel 2.0. I believe, we'll have a few minutes if it looks like we do. I'll talk about that. But it's really for people that love to biohack. If you want to learn about red light therapy, there's going to be a whole section in there on red light therapy. If you want to learn about cold plunging, we're going to have a lot of information about that too. What does that mean? It's like, man, I was so scared the first time I did cold plunge. And then I became addicted to it. I was like, I want to do it every single day. And I understand people who do it and why they do it now, because it sucks for the couple minutes you're in there. But man, when you get out and your body starts warming up and your body starts doing amazing things, right? If you look at it and it actually starts burning your fat. So people that are trying to lose weight, cold plunge, to be honest, is one of the great ways to do it. Which is really surprising. So just lots of benefits. I could keep going on and on about all of them. But anyway, BiohackingVille is just going to be a place where you can go, and there's going to be lots of tools there, right? Daniel 2.0 is a tool that I'm releasing that's going to be very exciting. It's going to take all these tools that I've been building, put them all together with an operating system. I've got a fasting app. That's part of it, to track your fasting, because that's another amazing tool for your health is fasting. But I didn't learn about fasting, or I've heard about it, but I never actually practiced it. And then when I found out the health benefits of it, especially during my journey, is like, oh my gosh, it is absolutely incredible how fasting just changes your immune system. It resets it, and then it doesn't, then it turns it after a few days into this amazing fighter. And it's like, if you don't reset your body, then it doesn't ever get to that. But you can literally reset your body just by fasting. So there's the reasons why. There's lots of talk about fasting in the Bible. So cool. So where ancient truth meets future tech. Right? There's going to be lots of stuff about the Bible in there, because there's lots of nutrients in the Bible. And the Bible talks a lot about the healing leaves. I love Jordan Rubin. I don't know if you know Jordan Rubin. He's an amazing man. And I just met him recently, and I'm excited to one of the things that we're releasing to the community is a prayer that he gave me. It is his personal prayer when he was going through cancer. I literally say that prayer multiple times a day out loud, declaring it with my mouth, because I know that I am healed. It's just a matter of time. So the communities, the DNA. So let's see, the podcast, right? BiohackingVille Podcast. I'm doing this so we can do deep dives on wellness. I'm going to bring practitioners in who are just flipping amazing. There's people you need to hear from that are doing the future of health. and they're using these AI tools, and they're using things like I'm using this frequency solution now that I literally lay on all night long, and then during the day I have this frequency that's going through my body that's helping clear out some bad things that are in my particular body. And this is stuff that I would have never learned about if I hadn't gone through this journey. But the stuff I want to teach you about, because it's like, holy smokes, if this has helped this many people and it's done that for that many people, why don't people know about it? It's because there's lots of people in this world, unfortunately, who don't want you to hear about things that are actually healing people and helping people. I know that's sick as ever. When I first learned that, it literally pissed me off. I'm like, how can we live in such an open society, an amazing society? The United States of America is the best. My dream when I was young was to be a professional runner and wear the USA journey. In fact, I made the US junior team, and I have this one photo of me. It has the USA singlet that I was wearing, and I won one of the international races. I beat the best kids from 5 other countries, and I was so proud because I beat China, I beat Australia, I beat Korea, I beat all these young men from these different countries, and it was the United States. I won, and it was like I was so excited. And then lo and behold, 6 months later, I got hit by a truck, and that ended my running journey. But I just tell you, that's why I know God has a plan for me, because I was saved from that particular incident as well. So this place is on a private community site. It's not on Facebook for a reason. I want it off. I want to be able to not have any censorship whatsoever. I want to own it. And it's on a technology called Circle. It's a place to ask questions, share wins, connect with other people on the same journey. And then I've written a newsletter. I've renamed it to the God Algorithm newsletter, because the God algorithm to me is not that I am God. It's like I want to take in modern medicine. I want to take in the ancient wisdom from it, and I want to take in this new science, this AI technology. It's like you see, taking medicine, and you take in this new AI technology, and you take in modern science, and at the center, it's God, but it's the God algorithm, and so that's what I call it. And so that newsletter, I think you should subscribe to that, because I'm going to be sending out that every week that talks in detail a lot about the things that we're going to discuss on the podcast. But then I also just share other awesome information that I learned. And then we're going to do monthly live Q&A. So once a month, we're going to go live on the community, and you can ask me anything. And a lot of times I'm not going to know the answers, because I'm just a normal person, but I am learning a ton. And I know a lot of people who I can connect you with, that can really help and really move the needle from your health. I spent over a year interviewing dozens of doctors related to pain. Right, so I know the pain world really, really well, fatigue, and so lots of things like that. And I can connect you with holistic practitioners or doctors who are doing amazing things. Right, so hey, health, faith, tech, whatever's on your mind, we're going to talk about anything. And I mentioned a little bit about Daniel 2.0. This is coming. This is exciting. There's so much you can do with technology now that I'm building something that would take literally probably 3 or 4 years and millions of dollars to develop. And I'm doing it myself because the technology is there now. It's so cool. And so I call it an AI powered wellness coaching tool built on faith-based principles, right? It's in development. When it launches, you'll hear it first. So I'm excited about that. And I've been quiet for too long. I've been doing all these things, and I honestly was worried about my life for quite some time this last year. But I've been building in the background. It's like, God, I know you saved me. And I'm fighting every day. I'm fighting. If people, like my wife know me, it's like, I don't lose. I hate to lose. I cannot stand to lose. And it's not because I'm prideful or I don't believe. It's just the innate nature that God has given me. So I'm not going to lose this battle, right? Cancer has no authority over me whatsoever. Right? I declare in the name of Jesus that I am healed, and I believe that wholeheartedly. In fact, that's one of the hardest things I had to deal with. Is in my mind, I'm already done. It's already healed. I'm already moving forward. But then, reality hits me in the face, and I have to go to my treatments, and I have to go. I still have tumors in my body, and so I've got to take care of them. Right? I got to do what I got to do. To continue this fight, but I am recovering, and I'm so excited because the things I'm building are going to be life-changing for people. But that season is over, right? It's like it's time for me now to go all in. The BiohackingVille is launching. It's real. The podcast is here. The site is up, and welcome to get people there. There's going to be incredible amounts of resources there very shortly, right? We're going to get you the Jordan Rubin prayer. If you know, lots of you have relationships with people with cancer, right? You know someone who has cancer. You know someone who's affected by cancer in some way. I want you to get this prayer because this prayer is foundational and it's amazing and it's powerful and it's so cool that I want that anybody that has it and or knows someone who has it, I want you to take this. And I want you to get it to people. So it's going to be on the BiohackingVille site. It's going to obviously free. I want to get that to you, and I want you to share it with people and have them come and look at the resources that are going to be there. So it's really the health landscape is changing like crazy, faster than anyone realized, and AI is accelerating it. But then people of faith need a guide, right? Because if you're a person of faith, a lot of times you don't trust in other beings. You just like, I'm going to trust in the Lord, and the Lord is going to heal me. And I was kind of that way, right? When I was look at my pacemaker story as a perfect example. I was learning all this incredible information about all natural health, and I multiple times decided not to do what these practitioners were telling me. Partly was pride, and partly was also I didn't trust anybody in the healthcare system. And I don't mean to be rude, but with that literally the corruption I was seeing in our healthcare system, I just didn't trust modern medicine. And so the Lord taught me an amazing lesson. He's like, I brought you 3 helpers, 3 people told me to get a pacemaker. And I was over here going, oh, no, I'm going to do all natural health. I'm going to do things naturally. I'm going to do it the God's way. And unbeknownst, he was helping me. He was giving me helpers. And they were telling me to do this, and I was over here. But, man, what we need to do is come together. You need to understand that modern medicine is amazing and doing amazing advancements, and a lot of the doctors and the research that isn't corrupt and isn't for money. That there's a lot of that, but there is really good. There are really good products, and there's really good advancements, and there's really good things that are happening. And unfortunately, there's a lot of people over here, like I was, that just ignore all of this because they're stubborn. They want to do it God's way. But what I'm telling you, God's way is the God algorithm. The God algorithm is merging these all together, taking modern science, taking your faith and not losing it, but utilizing what God has put on the earth for. God put on amazing scientists and amazing technology that people are learning. And that's of God just as much as the nutrients he put on the earth for us. So we need to learn how to take care of our temple and utilize the nutrients in the body, because at the end of the day, your body, we are what we eat, literally, physically. And if you're not putting the right nutrients in the body, your body's not getting what it needs to thrive and survive. And so you can't do one without the other. And I was trying to do it all over here. And God said, no, That's not going to work, brother. I'm going to, he's like, okay. Multiple, doctors. And I still said no. Says, okay, I'll give you cancer. Let's see what you do now. And I finally give up. I finally say, okay. And that little part about that heart story that's just fascinating is I've lived with this bradycardia for decades. But unbeknownst to me, my heart was going, the upper part of my chamber had been failing for decades. So my backup was working. It's called a junctional rhythm. And I'll be really quick, but this backup was what's been operating my heart for decades. And I had a really slow beating heart. That's why they call it bradycardia. It was in the 30s, my heart rate, just naturally. And I'd lived that way for a really, really, really long time. And then, but it was failing and I didn't know it. And the Lord did, obviously, because he led me this way. But a couple of times during that year that I said no, people always ask me, do you ever faint? Do you feel tired? Do you feel dizzy? And always I said no, because I didn't. I felt normal. And then a couple of times leading up to where I actually got my pacemaker, I was sitting on the couch doing nothing. And I almost passed out. I was like, what? It was like really this crazy, crazy feeling came over me. And I was just like, what's going on? And then I'm not joking. It's not a joke. On my way, drive down from Plano, Texas to downtown Dallas. It's like a 20-30 minute drive to get my pacemaker. On the drive there on the freeway going 70 miles an hour, I almost passed out. It was like I almost just blinked. I mean, I could just feel it coming over me. I was like, my whole body just went whoop. I was just like, I came so close to just passing out and to being, done. And that what I ended up finding out later was that, like, literally my heart was failing. And so when I was on the operating table and they were starting the process, my heart finally gave out. It's like, okay, boom, we're done. And if I wasn't laying on that table with heart specialists there with the right technology already ready to save my life, I would be dead. So it's just like, wow. When you hear that and you've lived that, you're like, okay, Lord, you saved me for a reason. And I'm like, okay, what is it? I was like, I used to be so not enamored, but so focused on success and being the best and having the nicest things. And man, I don't, and my wife gets frustrated a little bit in the respect that I don't care about any of that anymore. I could lose every single thing in this house. I could lose my car. I could lose everything. But the things that matter are my family. My relationship with God is first, and then my family, her. That's all that really matters right now. Nothing of this physical stuff matters to me whatsoever. And so I know that he put me here, he saved me, and it's like, okay, since I am here, I have not got my upgrade. It's my job to go help people. So if I can survive what I've survived and come out on the other side healthier than ever, I feel damn good. I really do. I know I don't look so great. My hair is still white. It's actually, I'm getting some color back, which is exciting. My hair went bleach white during my treatment. Body's getting better. So I'm starting to get some of my color back, which is pretty fun. But I owe it to you to share what I've learned. So here's what I'm asking you to do. Subscribe to this podcast, right? Wherever you're listening, hit subscribe. I'll be here every week. Join the newsletter, right? It's called thegodalgorithm.ai. Thegodalgorithm.ai. Well, I'll have it in the show notes, so if you're driving, you can come get them. But subscribe, because it's going to be a great newsletter. You're going to get lots of good information. And then, I really think every Thursday I'm going to be sending that out. And there's already 8,500 people that are part of that. Join them. And then join the BiohackingVille. It's a community on Circle. It's like just being launched. So bear with me. There's going to be mistakes. You're going to get an email that my brother just sent me an email today, and the welcome sequence is wrong. All right, so I'm working on that. I'll get the welcome sequence. So when you sign up, it's a nice, well done welcome sequence, and you have good information. And there's lots of the bots that I've trained that are super amazing. Are not in there yet. They will be soon, but I'm getting that all put together. So come hang out with us. It's a really cool place. I'll have the links in the show notes. And then follow me on social. I am at the Rob René almost everywhere. I had Rob René in a number of them, but at the Rob René seemed to be more consistent. So I did that on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, etc. So if you look for at Rob René and you don't see it, then look for at the Rob René. And you'll be able to find me. And I'm going to be literally putting out information daily. From here on out, there's going to be information going out on either my Exodus Strong profiles, which is my company, or on the Rob René components. Because this is, to me, I want you to understand. It's really important for me to have you understand your bodies are the temple of the Holy Spirit, who's in you, whom you've received from God, right? That's what 1 Corinthians 6:19 says. Don't you know that your bodies are temples of the Holy Spirit, who's in you, whom you have received from God? What that means to you, that's why it changed everything for me, right? You got to take care of the temple. If you don't have it, you don't have anything else in life. And I just want to say a really quick prayer. So I want to end it with this. I only have a couple minutes left. Dear Lord, thank you so much for just what you have done for me. Thank you for everybody listening to my voice right now. I pray that they have hope. I pray that they understand that their body is their temple and that they only have one of them, and that you designed this body incredibly, and that they can take care of this temple. And you've taught us how to take care of this temple. You've given us the nutrients that the body needs, and and you've taught us how to take care of it. And thank you for the amazing scientists and the doctors that are doing modern medicine. Thank you for AI even, that it's going to make huge advancements. So thank you for that, Lord. And thank you for just saving my life so that I can help others. I just pray that that they can get the help that their bodies need. They can just get well. And I pray that they have an inclination. If they don't believe in you, that's fine, because I didn't believe in you either, right? There's lots of people who don't understand and don't believe, and that's okay. But I want to welcome them to this conversation. But I want them to understand that you are amazing, that you did die on the cross for us. And I just want to thank you, Lord. It's Easter Sunday coming up this Sunday here when you're this episode. And it's just amazing. So thank you for everything you've done for us, Lord. It's in your name I pray. Amen. I just wanted to say thank you. I want to give you the courage, right, to take your health seriously, not out of fear, but out of worship, right? I'm Rob René. This is the BiohackingVille Podcast, where ancient truth meets future tech. I'll see you next week. Believe, biohack, become. Remember, if you have air in your lungs today, God has a plan for your life. Believe, biohack, become.
Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. Join the community and get the show notes at biohackingville.com. Follow us on all social media platforms at BiohackingVille. Until next time, believe, biohack, become.